Have you ever thought to yourself, I'll start budgeting once I make more money? A lot of people do. They think budgeting is something for people with bigger paychecks, people who already have cash left over at the end of the month. But here's the truth, the less money you have, the more important budgeting becomes. And if you can learn how to budget with very little, you'll build the skills and habits that will serve you for life. In this video, we're going to break down how to start budgeting even if you feel broke, even if you're living paycheck to paycheck. I'm going to share 5 powerful lessons that will completely change the way you look at money. We'll talk about why mindset matters more than income, how small expenses sneak up on you, why prioritizing needs over wants is the foundation of a strong budget, how saving even the tiniest amount can be life-changing, and how cutting just one expense can create real momentum. Stick with me until the end, because these steps aren't complicated, and they don't require you to already be rich. They're practical, simple, and designed for anyone, even if your wallet feels empty right now. Let's dive in. The very first step to budgeting with little money is all about mindset. Before you even touch a calculator, spreadsheet, or bank app, you have to adjust how you think about money. Most people believe they need more income before they can start budgeting. They picture budgeting as something complicated, full of charts and numbers, only useful if you're already making enough to live comfortably. That belief is wrong, and it's holding people back. Budgeting is not about the amount you have. It's about control. It's about telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Even if you're only managing a couple $100s a month after bills, that money still deserves direction. And when money is tight, every dollar is more important, not less. Think about it. If you only had $5 left in your wallet, wouldn't you think carefully before spending it? You wouldn't just toss it without thought. You'd weigh your options, make a decision, and assign it a purpose. That's exactly what budgeting is, giving every single dollar a job. A lot of people resist budgeting because it feels restrictive. They think it's about saying no to fun or living on rice and beans. But really, budgeting is freedom. It's freedom from stress, freedom from overdraft fees, freedom from waking up wondering if you can pay rent this month. When you're in charge of your money, you're in control of your life. Here's another truth. If you wait until you earn more to start budgeting, you'll just scale up your bad habits. If you're careless with $1,000, you'll probably be careless with $10,000. Studies show most people increase their spending as their income rises. That's why you see high earners still living paycheck to paycheck. The issue isn't income, it's habits. So the mindset shift is this: budgeting is for everyone, no matter the income. It's not about being rich, it's about being intentional. And when you learn to budget on a small income, you're actually training yourself with the exact same skills millionaires use. Your action step: take whatever money you have today, even if it's $50, and write down exactly how you plan to use it. That's a budget. Doesn't matter how small. Once you accept that budgeting is about control, not cash, you'll unlock the power to change your future. When money is tight, small expenses matter more than you think. In fact, most people don't lose control of their budget through one big purchase. They lose it $5, $10, or $20 at a time. Let's say you grab coffee on the way to work for $5. Not a big deal, right? Then you buy lunch. Instead of packing it, maybe $12. Later that night, you order takeout for $20. That's almost $40 gone in a single day without even realizing it. Multiply that by a week and you're out $280. That's over $1,000 in a month if it's a regular pattern. And yet, most people can't remember where that money went. This is why tracking expenses is so powerful. Awareness is half the battle. When you write down everything you spend, every coffee, every snack, every online order, you start to see patterns that were invisible before. Suddenly, that cheap habit looks expensive. You realize that the $5 here and $10 there are actually stealing the money you desperately need for bills, savings, or paying down debt. Now, this doesn't mean you can never buy coffee again. It means you get to decide if that coffee is really worth what it's costing you in the long run. Without tracking, you're blind. With tracking, you're in control. The easiest way to start is to track every expense for 30 days. Use a notebook, a notes app, or a budgeting app, whatever you'll actually stick with. At the end of the month, review it. Look for categories where money is slipping away without much benefit to your life. That's where you can cut back without feeling deprived. Here's the big lesson. Small leaks sink ships. If you're on a tight budget, you can't afford leaks. Tracking plugs the holes and shows you exactly where your money is going. Once you see the truth, you can make smarter choices that stretch your dollars further. When you don't have much money, prioritization is everything. The first rule is simple: cover your needs before your wants. But many people blur that line and treat wants like necessities. That's where budgets fall apart. Needs are things like housing, food, utilities, and transportation. These are the essentials you must pay to survive and function. Wants are things like dining out, streaming services, shopping, or entertainment. Important? Sure. Essential? No. Here's the problem. When money is tight, treating wants as equal to needs can leave you short on rent or groceries. Imagine spending $200 eating out when that money could have covered half your electricity bill. That creates stress, late fees, and more financial chaos. The key is to list your expenses in order of importance. Rent or mortgage first. Food at home second. Utilities third. Transportation fourth. Once those are covered, then and only then do you look at wants. This doesn't mean you can't ever have fun. In fact, including some wants in your budget is healthy. But they come last, not first. And when you prioritize correctly, you'll feel more secure because your basics are always covered. So the action step here is to write down your top 4 categories of needs and make sure they're funded before you spend on anything else. It's not glamorous, but it's how you build stability even with little money. One of the biggest excuses people use is, "I don't make enough to save." But the truth is, saving isn't about the amount, it's about the habit. Even putting away $5 or $10 each week can transform your mindset and your future. Here's why. Saving builds financial resilience. That tiny emergency fund, even if it's just $100, can stop you from relying on credit cards or payday loans when something unexpected happens. That $10 saved is $10 you don't have to borrow later. The real value of saving with little money is habit building. If you start now, even with tiny amounts, you train yourself to always put something aside. Later, when your income grows, you'll already be used to saving. You won't have to struggle to build the habit, you'll just increase the amount. Think of it like exercise. You don't start by running a marathon. You start by walking around the block. Over time, your muscles grow, and one day running feels natural. Saving works the same way. Start small, stay consistent, and watch the growth over time. So here's your challenge. Commit to saving $10 from your next paycheck. Put it in a jar, a savings account, or even an envelope. Don't touch it. Over time, increase it as you're able. The number isn't the goal, the consistency is. When money is tight, you don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle overnight. Just cut one expense. That's it. Pick one thing you can live without and redirect that money into savings or paying off debt. Maybe it's a streaming subscription you don't use. Maybe it's eating out once a week instead of 3 times. Maybe it's canceling a gym membership you forgot you had. The point isn't to cut everything, it's to prove to yourself that you can make a change and survive without it. Once you see that you can cut one thing and barely notice the difference, it becomes easier to cut a second. And then a third. That's how you slowly free up more money without feeling deprived. Cutting one expense also creates momentum. That $20 saved might not seem like much, but when you put it towards savings or debt, you feel progress. Progress creates motivation, and motivation keeps you going. So your action step: look at your expense list and find one thing to cut this week. Just one. Redirect the money to savings or debt. That single step will start a chain reaction of positive financial habits. Starting a budget with little money might feel impossible, but it's actually the most important time to do it. By shifting your mindset, tracking small expenses, prioritizing needs, saving tiny amounts, and cutting just one expense, you're building habits that will transform your financial life. Remember, budgeting isn't about being rich, it's about being intentional. You don't need thousands of dollars to start. You just need to decide where your current money goes. When you control your money, you control your future. If you can master budgeting while your income is small, you'll be unstoppable when it grows. The habits you're building now are the foundation for financial freedom. Don't wait for someday. Start today. Open a notebook, list your income, list your expenses, and give every dollar a job. That's budgeting. And here's the final thought. Every financial journey begins with the first step. Maybe your step is tracking expenses. Maybe it's saving $10. Maybe it's canceling one subscription. Whatever it is, do it today. Don't wait for the right time is now. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And let me know in the comments, what's the first step you're taking to start budgeting with little money? You don't need more money to take control of your finances. You just need to start.